Hey everyone, today I'm diving deep into a topic that's often misunderstood and cloaked in stigma. Borderline personality disorder, or BPD. This isn't just a clinical term, it's a reality for many, and understanding it can change lives. The internal chaos of the person with BPD's emotions often gives them a desperate need to control external events, situations, and people. The internal world is so out of control, so external control gives them the sense of stability they lack internally. They must have their own way and will resort to manipulation, emotional blackmail, episodes of raging or physical threats to get it. For their partner, this creates constant anxiety and fear, plus it erodes self-esteem and creates a climate of resentment. Berating, belittling, criticizing, name-calling, screaming, threatening, shaming, excessive blaming, and using sarcasm and humiliation, blowing the non-BPD's flaws out of proportion, and making fun of the partner in front of others. Over time, this type of abuse utterly erodes the partner's sense of self-worth, esteem, and confidence. People with BPD generally lack self-soothing skills. They are unable to calm themselves and typically look for this soothing from their partners. The person with BPD may place unreasonable demands on their partner and want the partner to put everything else aside to tend to their needs. People with BPD expect that relationships will ease the chronic emptiness they feel and can become resentful and enraged when the relationship fails to meet their every need. Abusive relationship expectations may include demands for constant attention, frequent sex, a requirement that you spend all your free time with the person, or giving up everything else in your life, because these expectations are based on their belief it's your job to essentially parent them. It's never enough. You may be subjected to constant criticism and are berated because you can't fulfill all this person's needs. The person with BPD may play on the non-BPD's fears, guilt, compassion, values, or other hot buttons to get what they want. This may include physical threats, withholding affection, the cold shoulder, harassment, stalking behaviors, threatening phone messages, emails, or the use of other threats and/or fear tactics to control the partner. People with BPD often have a compulsive need to violate the boundaries of people and institutions. People with BPD see healthy boundaries in others as limits imposed on them and act out in many ways to assert their control. This manifests as habitual disrespect of others, scorn for and resentment of others' requests, petty theft, being asked not to do or say something to you and repeatedly doing it anyway, sexual violation, refusal to honor requests from their partner, etc. BPDs often unconsciously seek out partners who have difficulty enforcing their boundaries or expressing their anger. The person with BPD may cycle rapidly between being very needy and childlike and being rageful and verbally abusive. This is extremely unsettling for their partners because you never know what to expect at a given time. That's the daily reality for someone with BPD. It's like riding a roller coaster that doesn't stop, making relationships and self-image incredibly challenging to manage. But why does this happen? Well, BPD is linked to a combination of genetic factors, brain function, and environmental influences. Namely, being chronically invalidated in childhood and not being able to validate their own emotions. It's not a choice, it's a condition. And blaming someone for their brain's wiring. That's like blaming someone for the color of their skin. One of the most poignant aspects of BPD is the fear of abandonment. This fear can lead to frantic efforts to avoid being left alone, which might manifest as impulsive actions or intense, unstable relationships. It's a plea for reassurance, a need for safety. There's also the chronic feeling of emptiness. It's like standing in a crowd but feeling invisible, disconnected. It's not something one can just snap out of. It's profound, it's painful, and it's very real. Now, if BPD remains undiagnosed, it's like navigating a minefield blindfolded. Without understanding what's happening, both the individual and those around them are at a loss. Conflicts can seem endless, and coexistence becomes strenuous without openness and honesty about the struggles involved. So what can we do? First, let's spread awareness and empathy. Let's educate ourselves and others about BPD to break down the barriers of ignorance and judgment. For those experiencing these symptoms, seeking help from mental health professionals can be a game changer. Diagnosis and treatment can pave the way to understanding and managing emotions more effectively. And for those living with or knowing someone with BPD, patience and support are key. Listen, really listen. Provide a stable presence and try to understand the fears and feelings that drive their actions. It's not about condoning harmful behaviors, but understanding the root causes and addressing them with compassion. Remember, mental health is just as critical as physical health, and understanding disorders like BPD is a step towards a more compassionate society. Let's be part of that change. Let's be the understanding that someone needs today. Thanks for tuning in, and let's keep the conversation going. Spread the word, offer support, and let's transform understanding into action. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of those battling with the unseen struggles of borderline personality disorder.